You've been doing great work for 2 years, and you know it's time to ask for more money. But every time you think about saying it out loud, you find a reason to wait. Maybe next quarter, maybe after the next project, maybe when the timing is better. The timing is never better, and waiting doesn't get you a raise. Asking does. By the end of this video, you'll have 3 phrases to start that conversation: professionally, confidently, and without making it awkward.
Speak Up, the show for non-native professionals who are fluent but still feel like something's off at work. Every week, real scenarios, real phrases, real confidence. Let's get into it.
Alex has been at the company for 2 years. Performance reviews are strong. A colleague in the same role just got promoted. Alex decides it's time to ask for a raise.
Hey, Alex, do you have a few minutes?
Sure. Um, I just wanted to say that I've really been enjoying my work here. I feel like I've been contributing a lot, and I was just wondering if maybe there's any possibility of, you know, looking at compensation at some point.
Thanks for sharing that. I'll keep it in mind.
Jordan files it away. Nothing happens. Alex never actually asked for a raise. Alex hinted at one, and hints don't get results.
Hey, Alex, good work on the project last week.
Thanks. Actually, I've been meaning to ask. I think I deserve a raise. I've been here 2 years and I feel like I'm underpaid compared to the market. Jordan nods, but something shifted in the room. Alex made a case, but made it feel like a complaint, and complaints are much harder to say yes to. 2 mistakes, both extremely common among non native professionals. Mistake 1, too indirect. I was just wondering if maybe there's any possibility of this is not a request. It's a hint wrapped in apology. In North American workplaces, indirect requests are easy to ignore. If you don't ask clearly, the answer is always no. Mistake 2, too abrupt. No context, no data, and the phrase "I deserve" puts your manager on the defensive immediately. "I deserve" sounds like an accusation, not an opening. The goal isn't to demand, and it isn't to hint. The goal is to open a professional conversation with context, with data, and with confidence. 3 steps. Set the context. State your case with evidence. Make a specific ask and invite a conversation. Same situation. This time, Alex uses the formula. Alex sends Jordan a message first. "Hi Jordan, I'd love to find 30 minutes to discuss my role and compensation when you have a chance. Would later this week work?" Jordan agrees. They meet. "Thanks for making time. I've been reflecting on my contributions over the past year and I'd like to open a conversation about my compensation. Over the past 12 months, I've taken on the client reporting project, led the onboarding of 3 new team members, and increased our team's output by about 30%. I've also been doing some market research, and my current salary is slightly below the range for this role in this market. I'm not looking to make any sudden moves. I love working here, and I'm committed to the team. But I'd like to discuss whether there's room to adjust my compensation to better reflect the value I'm bringing. Would you be open to that conversation?"
I appreciate you bringing this up directly. Let me look at what we have in the budget and come back to you by end of next week.
Alex didn't get a yes on the spot, but Alex got something more valuable: a real conversation, a committed timeline, and a manager who feels respected rather than ambushed. That's what a professional salary conversation looks like. Let's break down the 3 steps Alex used. Step 1, the meeting request. I'd love to find 30 minutes to discuss my role and compensation. Never ask for a raise in passing, in a hallway, at the end of a meeting, or over a casual chat. Always request a dedicated conversation. I need to talk to you. Sounds urgent and alarming. Can we chat? Too vague. 30 minutes to discuss my role and compensation. Specific, professional, signals exactly what the conversation is about. This gives your manager time to prepare, and a prepared manager is more likely to give you a thoughtful answer. Step 2, the evidence statement. Your case needs 3 things. Contributions. What have you done beyond your job description? I've taken on X beyond my original scope. Impact. What measurable difference did it make? As a result, measurable outcome. Market data. What are people in similar roles earning? Based on what I'm seeing in the market, my current salary is slightly below the range for this role. I deserve a raise. Opinion. Easy to dismiss. I've led 3 major projects, and based on market data, my salary is below range. Evidence. Much harder to dismiss. If you don't have exact numbers, estimates work. About 30% is still data. Based on what I'm seeing, signals research, even without a specific source. Step 3, the specific ask with an open door. I'd like to discuss whether there's room to adjust my compensation to better reflect the value I'm bringing. Would you be open to that conversation? 2 things to notice. First, better reflect the value I'm bringing. Not, I want more money. Same meaning. Completely different framing. You're asking to be paid fairly for what you're already doing. Second, would you be open to that conversation? Ends with a question, not a demand. It gives your manager agency. It signals, I'm not issuing an ultimatum, I'm starting a dialogue. 3 situations. Use the 3-step formula. Situation 1. You've been in your role for 18 months, no raise yet. You want to bring it up for the first time. Don't say, I think I deserve a raise at this point. Try this. I'd love to schedule 30 minutes to discuss my development and compensation. Over the past 18 months, I've taken on X and Y, and I'd like to discuss whether my compensation reflects that. Would you be open to that? Situation 2. You found out that a colleague in the same role earned significantly more. Don't say, I heard colleague makes more than me. That doesn't seem fair. Try this. I've been doing some research on market rates for this role, and I'd like to discuss whether there is room to review my compensation. I'm committed to this team, and I want to make sure we're aligned on my value here. Notice, don't mention the colleague by name. Frame it as market research, not personal grievance. Same information, much more professional delivery. Situation 3. Your manager says the budget is tight right now. Don't say okay and give up. Try this. I understand. I appreciate you being transparent about that. Could we agree on a timeline to revisit this? I'd love to know what would need to happen for a compensation review to be possible. Notice the pattern. Always request a dedicated meetings, never ask in passing, lead with contributions and impact, not feelings or fairness. End with the question, keep the conversation open. 3 steps to ask for a raise professionally. I'd love to find 30 minutes to discuss my role and compensation. Request a dedicated meeting. Over the past time, I've contributions and impact. Based on market data, my compensation is below range. Build your case with evidence. I'd like to discuss whether there's room to adjust my compensation to better reflect the value I'm bringing. Would you be open to that conversation? Make the ask, invite a dialogue. Meeting, evidence, ask. That's the formula. Here's the key takeaway from today. Asking for a raise isn't greedy, it's professional. The people who get paid what they're worth aren't the ones who wait to be noticed. They're the ones who know how to have the conversation. This week, write down 3 contributions you've made in the last 12 months. Write it like this: I did X. As a result, Y happened. That's your evidence. That's how the conversation starts. Have you ever wanted to ask for a raise but didn't know how to start? Tell me in the comments. Next week, how to handle a difficult conversation with a colleague in English without it turning into a conflict. See you then.